Hello, this is Reading and Reflecting on Text, Module 4, Reading the Text and Reading Comprehension Part 2, Week 4. The topic is Critical Appreciation of the Text. So what is critical appreciation? A critical appreciation of a text is an evaluation. Evaluation of what? Of the work through a critical lens in order to show some of the reasons it is worth reading. So, you are reading and you are liking a text. But why? Answering this why is the critical appreciation. You have to have the evidences. Why am I liking this text? What is so good about it? Just stating it is good is not enough. So, critical appreciation consists of mainly two parts: careful examination and evaluation of the text. Critical examination is read to question the text. It is very good strategy to get engaged in a text. Maybe you are reading a simple story or a poem or whatever the text is. The reader must always question the text. What are the question reader should ask? About the sources, author's thesis statement, examining the structure, examining the content. Once, when someone is reading, one should look for what are the sources used in that text. What the author is actually trying to say. What is his primary objective of writing this text? What is his main agenda? That is author's thesis statement. Then the reader should appreciate, or before appreciating, at least try to understand what is the structure. Maybe it is a poem, a short story, a drama, or whatever the form it is. That form has a structure. So reader must be active and try to understand how conformative or how distractive that structure is. And for that, the reader himself or herself has to examine the structure. And then examine the content. The content, what is written, what is told, what is showed, what is depicted, that must be examined. The content is very important because it gives you the meaning of the words, phrases, and also holds you the in-between line meanings. So, examining content requires critical analysis. This is why this is critical examination. All these activities will help you to understand the strength and the weakness of the text. Once you have questioned the text, you got involved, only then you can understand what is the strength of the text and what is the weakness of the strength. Finally, with your prior experiences and with your experience of read and rereading this text, you will be able to compare, and this comparison will lead you to next level, that is evaluation of the text. Evaluation of the text is nothing but appreciating inquiry. This is where you read, you understood the text thoroughly, you have critically examined it. Now you are searching for evidences. Those evidences which will make you state that, oh, this drama is exceptional, or this drama doesn't do justice to the writer, right? So you have to get all these evidences, and that can only be achieved with evaluation of the text. Value constructive forms of inquiry and create new narrative where possible. This is very interesting that once you start valuing, you start your own construction of inquiry. You start your new narrative that may trigger into something new, maybe something, a new creation, and you will be the author of that. But also, respect the value of deconstructive forms of inquiry. You must analyze and you must go through all the processes of deconstructive forms and respect the value of it. Appreciating as valuing the meaning that participants discover in their experiences. So, finally, you get to connect with your life experience and the experiences depicted in the text by the author. And once you have examined it, evaluated it, you start to appreciate it, and appreciate it not as an outsider but as a participant who has discovered that experience. How to do critical appreciation? Showing a critical justification for your appreciation. You must show a justification. As we already said, that merely stating that, oh, I love this text, won't do. You have to justify it. How you will justify it? Merely mentioning how good a text doesn't justify appreciation. Finding evidences. Very, very important. That is why reading all the words and going through critically helps you to find the evidences, and finding evidence in the structure and content, both. So a drama with maybe completely new deconstructive structure, or a drama which has a very novel content, that evidence must be there with you. You must start appreciating that. Otherwise, it will be lost. It will be only a property of the author, but a reader makes it known to the world that this is new, novel, and this is a exceptional creation. Valuing where the reader become a participant in that text. His or her life experiences and evidences from the text are compared to attain the appreciative value. This is where text reading becomes an active part, that you loved a story and the story touched you. There must be something in your life experience, in your mind, in your intellectual and emotional self, which got connected with the experiences presented in the material or text. So, that is the appreciativeness or valuing of the text. Critical appreciation requires you to look at a word and analyze it to explain your appreciation for it. We can clearly understand that there are instances in this world literature that one single sentence, one dialogue, even one single word has made a story, a novel, an essay exceptional. And people after people, reader after reader has explained that sentence or that dialogue ages after ages. So, critical appreciation requires you to look at a word and analyze it to explain your appreciation for it. Now, what are the steps of critical appreciation? Of course, it should start with critical reading. Read, reread, again read, and start valuing each word. Summarize the text. Now you have an idea in your mind. What is this text about? And you can easily summarize it, right? So, this is when you get a control over the text. Now, thinking about responses. What is your response to the text? What you understood from the text? This is when you start getting personal. Consideration about the author. This is very important. Apart from text, you should know about the author. What is his or her background? What is author's intention? How much information you can find about that? That will help you to grasp it in a wider way. Author's use of evidence. Authors often use nuances of literary tricks, and a proper, effective, critical reader can only find those nuances. So, author's use of evidences can only be found by a critical reader. Valuing the text for appreciation. The reader should value the text, should give importance to the text to the optimum level for appreciation. Critical appreciation of a poem. Let's take an example. Step 1 is reader must know the work very well so that it can be evaluated from a discerning basis, from an intelligent point of view for liking and disliking. So, after reading and rereading it, it is a separate entity, and you have a discerning basis on the text. Only then you can evaluate it on the basis of intelligent point, right? So you have to get detached with it and you start to critically evaluate it. That is when you find why you like it with evidence and why you dislike it and with evidence. Now the step 2 is examine the structure and context of the poem. So after reading, rereading and personalizing it, you should examine the structure and context of the poem. Why it is written, when it is written, where it is written, what is the form, whether it is confirmatory to the trend of that time, and there are lots of details. So one should understand and decipher on that. Step 3 is evaluating the content of the poem. When you are evaluating the content of the poem, after you have evaluated the structure and context, there are many things to ponder over. Content can be evaluated on the basis of various things. Some of those are the meaning of the words, the rhyme scheme, the speaker, the figures of speech, references to the other works, the style of language, the poet's general writing style, the genre, the context, the speaker's tone. All this and many more helps you to evaluate the content of the poem. Now you can have a grasp on the poem of its intellectual value, of its emotional value through this journey, and these determinants, these triggers will help you to take that journey, right? Step 4 is reader become a participant in poet's world, which is wonderful. After taking step 1, 2 and 3, you finally come to the 4th step, which is reader become a participant in poet's world. So this is how a poem should be read. Poem should be critically analyzed, evaluated and appreciated. Finally, the appreciation should end with the comprehension, what a reader must have. Comprehension is helped with written responses or comprehension for both students in general and students who are weaker readers or writers in particular. So, comprehension is important not only for higher intellectual people or good students, but it is important for everyone, because this practice helps the weaker students to become better. That comprehension may not reach higher level, but it would help them to take the part in the idea of comprehension. This applies across expository and narrative text, as well as in content areas such as science and social studies. Comprehension is not an exclusive thing about literature. Even in science, social studies, we should attain comprehension over the text. Comprehension of text is improved with personal reactions, summaries of a text, answers to questions about a text, their own question about a text. All these helps in comprehension. Comprehension is not merely meaning making. This is when you have a understanding within yourself and you made it a part of yourself. This is when comprehension happens, and comprehension is helped with personal reactions, summaries of a text, answer to questions about a text. So you are put to answer, and your own questions which you will answer. This is how comprehension is attained. Thank you.